All right, let's do this one last time. For the last 22 years, I thought I was the one and only Spider-Man. Turns out there's more. Anyway, jokes aside, hi, I'm Synth. Some of you know by my synth, some of you know by me by my screen name somewhere else. None of you should know me by my actual name. If you do, I don't care. I'd prefer you don't call me that, though. Anyway, hi, Synth. You know me. This is actually going on my YouTube channel because Twitch does not allow me to elaborate and explain these things in full detail. So we're going to start from the top. I have OSDD, other specified dissociative disorder, also a variation of DID, dissociative identity disorder. However, DID is a lot more severe than my OSDD. However, that doesn't change the fact that there are semblances of other people in here, and they do affect my day-to-day life as well as streams. This video is my way of introducing them and kind of explaining how they all work in my head and why you're probably not going to see them. The reason I was prompted to do this is because I've developed a new one recently who serves a very important purpose of helping me manage my passions and kind of just what things I do with my life. So I'm going to give you the rundown. We're going to show you their models because I've made VTuber models for most of them. We're going to start from the top. I'll give you their voices and models. I'm a little sick right now, so I may have to redo this when I'm feeling better. But first of all, here's Briar. She talks like this in a very dull, monotone voice. She exists to protect and defend me. Her job is purely just protecting me. She's tried to do one stream. She didn't really like it because, you know, what her job is. But she doesn't do much else beyond that. She just protects me. Next we got Lucky. Lucky has a lot more of a risque model. Don't worry about the bounce when I loaded the model in. She is our gambler, and she also handles money. No, we do not let her touch money for gambling. She talks similarly to Briar, but she has a little more energy to her voice, a little more her. But yeah, she exists to handle money and complicated situations to some extent, but mostly money. And then we have Melody, who's the new one. Melody, sorry, I had to cough. Melody exists for, first of all, this is Melody. Let me adjust the background here because her eyes will be glitching out because they're green. And I have a chroma key for that. So without with the background off for a minute, we'll do her and Silvia together because they both have green eyes. She talks up here with a lot of energy, and she kind of exists to make sure I do, like I said at the start, passions, whatever I need to do to enjoy life beyond just working and streaming. So she exists to make sure I do all that. She's recent purely because I hit a breaking point where I needed to play guitar and do art, just a lot of motivation things, and so she exists to do that for me. Oh, I forgot to turn the thing on. I may be doing my introductions, but I'm not very smart. So anyway, green eyes. Next person with green eyes, Silvia. We'll come back to the one before her after this. Silvia. She talks about here. Also, I don't think her model's supposed to do that. It doesn't matter. What she does is she exists to make sure I do handle my anger effectively, but she also exists as kind of just a general gamer that I kind of lost as I grew up. Not that I'm not a gamer, I still play games, but she exists to emulate that persona that I lost, and also handle my anger. But she very much likes streaming, and would show up on more streams if I let her. But it depends on what games. But anyway, that's Silvia. Turn my chroma key back off. Like, she lost her eyes. No. There's Rebecca, who doesn't have a model. She exists to be girl. And she like totally talks like this. She doesn't really have much else she does because she like doesn't stream. But she exists to represent my femininity, which obviously she's not doing, because there's a lot of them that do that. And last but not least, Sonia. Sonia uses the old synth model. I know, it's kind of a blast from the past to see her. Sonia exists to... First of all, she talks like this. She's kind of a mid-between... She's kind of in between between Lucky and Sylvie, where she has Sylvie's energy to some extent, but she's also got the inflection in her voice that Lucky has. She exists to handle beauty in general. She makes things look nice. She helps me just kind of manage things looking nice. It's not just like visual aesthetic of both the models and myself. It's also like the room and the space, whatever. She also exists to help educate me on cultures. She'll motivate me to study these things instead of being an uneducated idiot. I like her. She's been one of, well, actually all of them have been very helpful. There's also 3 others, but there's a reason I'm not going to explain them. Other than Joon, Joon, she exists as well, the same kind of space that Lucky does. But she's like Lucky and Sylvie, where she's meant to handle money, but in a very aggressive and mean way. She doesn't front ever. But anyway, that's all of them. I don't expect you're going to see much other than maybe Silvia on stream. Sonia does sometimes stream, but we don't really play the game she enjoys. She'd be doing like a Stardew stream sort of thing. I got to switch off of her model. This actually, well, it's my model, her model, our model. I try to keep this thing on the down low, but I realize it needs to be spoken about on my streams because it's a facet of me. I don't want this to be seen as anything more than this is me, but does not define me. This is a facet of who I am, and they're all fragments of me. But I'm not going to make that my whole personality. My whole personality isn't the fact I'm gender fluid. My whole personality isn't the fact that I'm bi or have OSDD or ADHD or whatever, right? My whole personality is defined by I am me. I am Synth, and also Sammy, but I am Synth, and that is the most important part of me. Is I will always be Synth no matter what, and I don't want my personality to be defined by the aspects of me. They are just parts of it. Anyway, now you've been introduced to all of them, and this is a lot better and more in-depth introduction than I did on Twitch. It's been a great meeting you all and letting you all meet them. I hope to see you in more of my streams, YouTube and Twitch, probably Twitch more likely because I usually stream on Twitch more with a more priority. Anyway, love y'all. See you on next stream. Hope you bites have a nice night. Bye-bye.